Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Syahfiqah binti Zainal. I am from class 6C. In this video, I will present about an analysis of corporate financial performance, a trend and comparative study of PBB Group Berhad and Malaya Firm Names Berhad. For the introduction, I have chosen the companies that have stand for an average industry which are PBB Group Berhad and Malaya Firm Names Berhad. Most of the company is involved in four-wheeler industry in Malaysia. PBB Group Berhad is the company business that divided into 6 business segments which are brand and BRT business, consumer product, film exhibition and distribution, and environmental engineering and utility properties, investment and other operations. Under brands and agribusiness, the company do a flour milling business and animal feed milling. For flour milling business, FIN420 Berhad is an 80% subsidiary of PBB. It's the largest flour miller in Malaysia, which mainly complex scientifically located in Florida, Pasir Gudang, Kuching, Pai and Kota Kinabalu, which a total milling capacity of 2,850 metric ton per day. Their product for the domestic market that they do include wheat flour such as bread, noodle, biscuit, cake, and all-purpose, specialty wheat flour products such as semolina, whole milk, cake ratio, and other with specialty products such as wheat bread and wheat germ, and improver and pen such as cake and cakes. Malaya Firm Names Berhad is a pioneer in the flour milling industry in Malaysia. Malaya Firm Names Berhad offer a wide range of wheat flour catering for every requirement. Their products are categorized such as high protein wheat flour, medium protein wheat flour, low protein wheat flour, and specialty wheat flour. The company core business include building, concrete integration, upholstery, and raw material trading. The next is financial statement. To analyze the financial statement of both company, I have used the ratio analysis tools such as liquidity, activity, leverage, and profitability ratio. I have used trend analysis and cross-sectional analysis to analyze the both company financial statement for 3 years, which are 2016, 2017, and 2018. For the trend analysis of PBB Group Berhad, first category is liquidity ratio. For the current ratio, in year 2016, the company raw material trading. The next is building, concrete integration, upholstery, and raw material trading. The next is financial statement. To analyze the financial statement of both company, I have used the ratio analysis tools such as liquidity, activity, leverage, and profitability ratio. I have used trend analysis and cross-sectional analysis to analyze the both company financial statement for 3 years, which are 2016, 2017, and 2018. For the trend analysis of PBB Group Berhad, first category is liquidity ratio. For the current ratio, in year 2016, the company gets highest current ratio, which is 3.27 times compared to the other years. The company is in good condition because for every 1 ringgit they owe, they manage to pay 3 ringgit and 37 cents. It shows that they can meet their short-term obligation in year 2016. While for the quick ratio, among these 3 years, the company gets highest quick ratio in year 2016, which the ratio is 2.65 times. The company in that year is in good condition because for every 1 ringgit they owe, they manage to pay 2 ringgit and 55 cents. It shows that they meet their short-term obligation in that year. Even though the quick ratio keeps decreasing for the years, the ratio shows that the company can still pay their short-term obligation because the ratio is not below 1. Next category ratio is activity ratio. For the activity ratio, I had choose inventory turnover and total asset turnover ratio to analyze the financial statement of the company. For the inventory turnover, in year 2016, the PBB Group Berhad get the highest ratio, which is 5.72 times. It shows that the inventory turnover of the company in that year is good as the firm is efficient to maintain the inventory and lead to frequent stock loss. But a reduction in inventory turnover in year 2017, which is 4.60 times to 4.45 times in 2018, means the inventory may be cleaned up and not being sold. While for the total asset turnover, higher ratio is preferred as it reflects more efficient asset utilization. But in this company, based on the 3 years, the company ratio shows that the company is not in good condition. The company get lowest ratio because they did not using its asset efficiently. In 2016, the ratio shows that the company get the lowest total asset turnover, which is 0.18 times compared to the other year that has same ratio, which is 0.19 times. The third category ratio is leverage ratio. For the debt ratio, based on the ratio of the 3 years the company, the ratio shows that the company is able to cover the debt through the total asset. The lowest ratio is in year 2016, which is 4.6%, and goes up to 5.7% in 2017. The highest ratio is in 2015, which the ratio is 6.5%. To prevent the company from bankrupt, the company must ensure the debt ratio must be lower to get the less financial risk. For the debt to equity ratio, the highest DER is in year 2017, which is 0.8%. The ratio shows that the company should maintain a healthy DER to avoid the risk to creditor and investor. The ratio decreased to 0.2% in 2018, shows that the company financial condition is stable. The last category ratio is profitability ratio. For the gross profit margin, the company gets highest profit margin in year 2016, which is 50.3%. It shows that the company is efficient in controlling its cost of goods sold. But the ratio is decreased in year 2017, which the ratio is 12.8% and slightly decreased in year 2018, which is 12.4%. The reason could be the company has higher cost of production or raw selling price that result in reduction of gross profit margin. For the net profit margin, in 2016, the company get net profit margin 26.4% and the ratio increased to 28.8% in 2017, which means the company get highest ratio in net loss. It shows that the company in year 2017, the company is able to control low operating expenses and good pricing strategy. But in year 2018, the company get lowest net profit margin, which is 24.4%. This is because the company management is inefficiency. So that's all for the trend analysis of PBB Berhad. So I will proceed to trend analysis of Malaya from Ms. Berhad. The first category is liquidity ratio. For the current ratio, in year 2017, the company gets higher current ratio, which is 0.98 times compared to the other years. But the company is not in good condition because for every one CEO, they only manage to pay 0.98 cents. It shows that they did not meet their short-term obligation. The company get lowest current ratio in year 2018, which is 0.84 times. For the quick ratio, among these 3 years, the company quick ratio is lower than 1. The highest ratio is in year 2017, which the ratio is 0.785 times compared to the other years. The company is not in good condition because for every one ringgit they owe, they only manage to pay 0.75 cents. It shows that the company did not meet their short-term obligation. Even though the ratio is increased from 0.67 times in year 2016 to 0.75 times in 2017, the company still cannot pay back its current liability. The quick ratio slightly decreased from 0.75 times in 2017 to 0.70 times in 2018. Next is activity ratio. For inventory turnover, in year 2018, the company gets highest ratio, which is 3.56 times. It shows that the inventory turnover of the company is good because the firm is efficient to maintain the inventory and lead to frequent stock costs. But a reduction in inventory turnover in year 2016, which is 2.73 times to 2.58 times in year 2017, means that the inventory may be piling up and not being sold. For the total asset turnover, based on the 3 years of the company ratio, the ratio shows that the company is not in good condition. The company get low asset turnover ratio because they did not use its asset efficiently. In 2016, the ratio shows that the company get the higher total asset turnover, which is 0.38 times. The ratio is decreased from 0.35 times in year 2017 to 0.31 times in year 2018 because the bad management of assets by the company. The third category ratio is leverage ratio. For the debt ratio, the higher the ratio is bad for the company as it is shown that they are subject to higher risk of bankrupt. The ratio in year 2016 is 49.7% and decreased to 49.4% in 2017 but rose up to 53.2% in year 2018. The ratio has to be low to prevent the company from bankrupt because the lower the ratio, the less financial risk of the company is assumed. So, in year 2018, the risk of the company is getting higher as the ratio goes up. For the debt to equity ratio, the highest DER is in year 2016 which is 7.0% and keep decreasing to 1.5% in year 2018. In year 2016, the company are considered more risky to creditor and investor because the highest ratio in that year. The last category ratio is profitability ratio. For the gross profit margin, the company get highest gross profit margin in year 2017, which is 90.4%. It shows that the company is efficient in controlling its cost of goods sold. But the ratio decreased in year 2018, which the ratio is 14.3%. The lower gross profit margin is a bad sign for the company, which means that the company could be has a higher cost of production that result in reduction of gross profit margin. For the net profit margin, in 2016, the net profit margin was low, which is 2.5%, and the ratio goes up to 14.7% in 2017. The highest net profit margin is in year 2017, which means that the company is able to control low operating expenses and use good pricing strategy. But in year 2018, the net profit margin is decreased to 9.2% that indicates the company's manager is inefficiency and excessive selling. So that's all for the trend analysis of Malaya from Ms. Berhad. So I will continue to the cross-sectional analysis between PPB Group Berhad and Malaya from Ms. Berhad in year 2018. The first category ratio is liquidity ratio. For the current ratio, the PPB Group Berhad get the highest current ratio, which is 2.69 times compared to the Malaya from Ms. Berhad, which the ratio is 0.84 times. The ratio shows that the PPB Group Berhad is in good condition because for every $1 they owe, they manage to pay $2.69. It shows that they can meet their short-term obligation. PPB Group Berhad is doing better than its competitor Malaya from Ms. Berhad, which only managed to pay 0.84 for every $1 they owe to meet their short-term obligation. For the quick ratio, the company that gets highest quick ratio is PPB Group Berhad, which the ratio is 1.92 times, while the Malaya from Ms. Berhad only gets 0.70 times. Based on the ratio, PPB Group Berhad can pay its short-term obligation without running to inventory. Malaya from Ms. Berhad has a quick ratio that less than 1, which means the company cannot currently pay back its current liability. So in this ratio, PPB Group Berhad is doing better than Malaya from Ms. Berhad. Next is activity ratio. For the inventory turnover, the PPB Group Berhad has higher ratio, which is 4.45 times compared to the Malaya from Ms. Berhad. It shows that the company is in better condition than Malaya from Ms. Berhad, as the company is efficient to maintain the inventory and lead to frequent stock costs. Malaya from Ms. Berhad has lower ratio, which the ratio is 3.66 times because the company does more stocking than its product requires. So in this ratio, PPB Group Berhad is better than Malaya from Ms. Berhad. For the total asset turnover, based on this year, both of the companies get low asset turnover, which means lower than 1. PPB Group Berhad has the lowest ratio, which is 0.92 times compared to the Malaya from Ms. Berhad, which the ratio is 0.31 times. The company get low asset turnover ratio because the bad management of assets by the companies. But Malaya from Ms. Berhad ratio is better than PPB Group Berhad, even though the ratio is not higher, which means not more than 1. The third is leverage ratio. For the debt ratio, Malaya from Ms. Berhad has a higher debt ratio, which is 53.2% compared to the PPB Group Berhad. The higher the ratio of the company influence more level companies, and it shows that the company has more financial risk. For the PPB Group Berhad, it has the lowest debt ratio, which is 6.5%. The company that has lower debt ratio will reduce the financial risk the company is assuming. PPB group berhad debt ratio is good as it shows they are subject to lower risk of bankrupt. For the debt to equity ratio, PPB group company has maintained a healthy DER in 2018, which is 0.2%. The money generated for investors is more than enough to pay off their debt. Malaya Province Berhad has higher DER that are considered more risky to creditors and the investor than a PPB group Berhad which a lower DER. The last category ratio is profitability ratio. For the gross profit margin, Malaya Province is doing better which the ratio is 14.3% compared to the PPB group Berhad which the ratio is 12.4%. It shows that the Malaya Province Berhad has a good management to be fit to sustain a good margin for the future compared to the PPB group Berhad that has lower gross profit margin. While for the net profit margin, PPB group Berhad get the highest net profit margin which is 24.4%, while the Malaya Province Berhad get the lower ratio which is 9.2%. It shows that PPB group Berhad is able to control low operating expenses and good practice strategy. Malaya Province Berhad get the lowest net profit margin due to the company management is inefficiency that result in the decreasing of net profit margin. In the conclusion, based on the ratio analysis that has been done, I can conclude that PPB group Berhad has a good financial performance than Malaya Province Berhad. This can be proven based on the comparison of cross-sectional analysis between both of these companies in the 2018. PPB group Berhad has shown that their financial performance on liquidity ratio is better than Malaya Province Berhad. This ratio analysis showed that PPB group Berhad ability to meet its current obligation as they conduct. For the activity ratio, both of the companies has shown their own strength in financial performance in activity ratio terms, which are inventory turnover and total asset turnover. In inventory turnover, PPB group Berhad has shown a good financial condition as the company is effective to use the inventory to generate sales compared to the Malaya Province Berhad. For the total asset turnover ratio, Malaya Province Berhad has shown a better result in managing all of the company resources to generate sales than PPB group Berhad. The next is the leverage ratio. PPB group Berhad is the best financial performance by maintaining a lower debt ratio percentage that will make the less financial risk of the company is assuming. Last ratio category is profitability ratio. Malaya Province Berhad has a better management to sustain a good margin for the future, while PPB group Berhad has shown that the company is able to control low operating expenses and good practice strategy to get the higher net profit margin. So, overall performance shows that the board of the company has their own business and strength to get a better financial performance and condition for a better future. For the recommendation, there are several suggestions that I think is suitable for the company to be practiced to maintain a better financial performance. The first suggestion that I recommend for Malaya Province Berhad to improve their liquidity ratio, the company can pay off their current liability to get a better financial condition in current ratio. The company also can sell off their unproductive assets and raise shareholder funds to increase their assets. Besides that, to get their higher free ratio, Malaya Province Berhad can improving their inventory turnover ratio and improving their collection period so that they can get a better financial condition. Also, Malaya Province Berhad should lower their debt ratio percentage to prevent the company from getting risk of bankrupt. The next suggestion that I would like to recommend for PPB group Berhad, based on the analysis ratio that has been done, the company can improve their gross profit margin by increasing their sale price. Increasing sale price can directly impact the gross margin. Besides that, the company can lower their cost of production to get the higher gross margin. They can reduce the cost by introducing new and improved technique of production. So that's all for the presentation from me. Thank you.